whether it is Gauri Khan, or whether it's Twinkle Khanna, or whether it is Meera Kapoor. I mean, they're strong women and they have their identities of their own and their mothers and they're working women and everything. So this conception of Bollywood wives and breaking the norm and everything, I don't understand that.
For me, is literally coming out and being in the... I've never really been in the forefront.
Yeah.
I don't choose to talk about these things, but it's not in my personality. But if you ask me a question directly, for me also, I mean, I will say it like it is. My son doesn't like to praise me. He feels like, you know what, it'll go to her head. So a little bit like dad ke, he'll give me one compliment.
When I see Taimur being stalked the way he is, sometimes I find it very disturbing, you know, and I sometimes think, how is he going to handle it later on in life? I just don't get when people are so offended by an actor's son wanting to be an actor.
Yeah.
I mean, they are born in this environment. Their influence, their building blocks, their personalities, their first influences are going to be the family. So they're going to take inspiration from that. So I find it weird when they say, how can they? They should be doctors or they should be army officers. Arre?
Bollywood vibes, a word that defines a lot of things, but to many, they are often reduced to being the homemaker to a superstar actor. The show changed the norms and how. Today we have two of the fabulous Bollywood wives joining us for a conversation. Maheep Kapoor and Seema Khan, only on Bollywood Bubble. So welcome both of you. First of all, high five on the show. I think it's a fantastic show. But was there a fear of being judged? You know, for the longest time, because we've not had a show like this. Like I said, we have a social stereotype of a Bollywood wife. I think you guys challenged those norms. You guys showed the world that there is a different identity to each one of you.
Of course, I mean, we're all up for... You know, the thing is that I think the scariest part of this whole thing was being up for judgment. Because that was the biggest fear, that your life and you and what you've said and what you've done and how you live, this is all up for judgment. So you are kind of bearing your soul. It's not an easy thing to do, to kind of open up your life and, you know, put yourself out there. So judgment is at the top of the list. That's what you're worried about, being judged.
This misconception of Bollywood wives being, you know, the shadow of their husbands and all, you know, that I find still surprising that we have to still prove points to people, you know, because I just feel that when I'm around all these women who I know who are married to these actors, whether it is Gauri Khan, or whether it's Twinkle Khanna, or whether it is Meera Kapoor, I mean, they're strong women and they have their identities of their own and their mothers and they're working women and everything. So this conception of Bollywood wives and breaking the norm and everything, I don't understand that, because not even now, I'm not talking about this era, I'm talking about even Krishna and TV, where, I mean, she is a legend. She's a legend, you know, and she brought something to the table being married to Mr. Raj Kapoor. It wasn't that she was a shadow. So I just find this whole thing about being Bollywood wives being looked down upon. I don't get that. I really don't get that.
One thing, it could have been, like you said, it could have been messier if things were not dealt with the same amount of sensibility, sentiment and emotion. That is what came across from when I watched the show. You know, even difficult topics were dealt with a lot of sensitivity. You made a comment, I think even Bhavna ma'am had that one episode, where you said that, you know, it is difficult to be the least famous in the family. How difficult was it when you had to deal with it when you were young? Today, you know, today times are changing. Today there are different mediums for everybody. But was it difficult at that point?
I mean, when you're younger, you are so much more stupider and so much less wise and so much less accepting or understanding that your glass is half full, you know? We're so... I mean, when you're young, you know how it is. You're just overly sensitive, overly confident, you know, confident also. But as you grow older, I'm 47 today, and I really do see my glass as half full. As I've said this many times before, success is very relative. Everyone cannot be a Shah Rukh Khan. But am I less successful? In my head, I'm very fucking successful.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got my children are happy and healthy. My parents are here with me. I've got a beautiful home. I mean, I'm blessed in more ways than one. But but having said that, when I said that in the show, I meant it. You know, sometimes it's the people around you that make you feel that, oh, you are the unsuccessful. But then, you know, that's why my circle is very small. My circle needs to be, it's tight. So those people who keep me at peace. We've all got stresses. So when we step out of our homes, we want to be around people who will give you peace of mind and, who give you confidence, and, you can live off them and take from them. I don't want to go around and hang around with negative people. That's why my circle is very small. And it always
absolutely. And it is better that way, I believe. To surround yourself with people who make you feel good about yourself rather than telling you this is wrong.
Very important. Very important.
Yeah, and that's what you guys did. Even Seema ma'am, I would like to ask you that I know the setup that you guys have because I've known the family for years now. And do you think it was a difficult choice to come out with that setup that you have, because it could have been judged in a very wrong way?
You know what the thing is? If you've seen the show, you know that I have no filter whatsoever.
Yeah.
And neither have I ever been in the forefront or, this is like, for me, is literally coming out and being I've never really been in the forefront.
Yeah.
I don't choose to talk about these things, but it's not in my personality. But if you ask me a question directly, for me also, I mean, I will say it like it is, So the thing is with me is that I'm like a open book when it comes to my life. Means I don't hold back. I actually have to learn how to hold back, because that is something I don't know how to do. I'm not diplomatic at all. I don't know how to be it. I speak my mind and I say what's in my heart, and I'm actually brutally honest. So I mean, I don't know any other way to be here, to be frank.
But much before I saw this, I've had a conversation with Arjun. And it was a very emotional conversation about him talking about the time when he lost his mother and the difficult times that he's been through in life in general. And he's always spoken really highly of you and Sanjay sir. And I must tell you that he always tells me that she's not like my chachi, she's my buddy. And it came across. Do you think that you have it in you to make sure everybody around you is comfortable and, crisis management? Does it come easy to you?
Well, I don't want to blow my trumpet and say, wow, I'm so amazing. It's very important for me. I love my nieces and nephews, We're a very tight-knit family, and it's very, very important for me that they know that they can come to me and that they know that it's easy to talk to me. I'm not going to be the one who's going to judge you. I'm going to be the one who's going to have conversation with you. I'll give my point of view, of course, but I'm happy that Arjun said that I'm his buddy, because that's the way I think I've been with all of them. I mean, right down to the youngest, Khushi, in the family. She comes home, we have discussion, late night discussions and everything. And it's very important for me that they feel that, that they can communicate. I think that's, I don't know. Yes, I'm amazing. Yes, I'm fat.
Both of your hands on mother. Whatever you're doing in life, you guys are great mothers. That's what came across on the show as well. Actually, all four of you, to be honest. You, of all people, you stalk your son and you have a binocular. Have you ever used that for your own house? And how does Nirvaan react to all this? How did your kids react to the show?
So my son doesn't like to praise me. He feels like, what, it'll go to her head. So a little bit like dad ke, he'll give me one compliment, but he, it's the way he behaves that says it all. Like when the trailer dropped, and he was like waiting, because he was in LA and there was a time difference, and he was waiting. Can I post it now? Can I post it now? I could see the excitement. And then when the show came out, he and Arhan came over for lunch, and they were like, three of us were sitting and chatting and our usual banter. You know how these boys are. I'm constantly ragging them. And Arhan, of course, went mad and he was like, Chachi, it was too good. And I want to tell you, my 2 minutes made such an impact. And he was he was more concerned about his own impact than me. But he was like, I'm telling you, you were too good and all. That's when Sally, he said, yeah, but you know what, Mom? He said, you know, even my friends from America, they're Americans and their parents have seen it. They loved you. You were damn good and all. So like that one compliment is actually equal to 100 of his, because that, you know how boys are at that age. They don't want to say too much. They don't speak too much. But I think I think he was very proud. My younger one was very excited. It was trending on number 1. He was screaming. And he's got such a loud voice that when he talks, I think the whole of Pali Hill can hear him talking. So he's got a really gun throat. But so it felt good that my boys were happy. They were proud and they were feeling like, you know, like Johan keeps asking me, every time I go for like work or we're going for an event, are you going to shoot season 2? Is season 2 starting? Are you going for this shooting? I said, no, I haven't yet started. No. So you can see that build up, you know, and that excitement and that you know, they feel pride, that, you know, they're proud that their mom has kind of, you know, done this. It's a really, really special feeling. It's a moment, I think, that, you know, these memories I'll keep. It's like a milestone you've hit, you know. Yeah.
And what about Shanaya and Jahaan? How did they react?
Well, I mean, I asked them first. It was very important for me that they were on board, that, listen, Mom is going to be doing this. Are you okay with it? Shanaya was completely on board. She was like, listen, you have to do this, Mama. It's an adventure. You can't let this go. You're doing it with your friends. You have stories to tell, blah, blah, blah. She was very on board. And Jahaan, he's, if you can see in the show, a boy of very few words. He was like, you don't say no to Netflix and dramatics. Just do it, Mama. So once they were on board, I was like, fine. And when the trailer dropped, Jahaan was a little worried. He was like, Mama, my teachers are going to see this. Obviously, he was complaining about my swearing like mad. But I said, I asked you, na? So, but once it dropped and then he got the feedback from his friends were so excited, Shanaya's friends were excited. I think they're happy.
They were comfortable, yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to know that, you know, you both are friends with Gauri Khan. In a very recent interview, while talking about the paparazzi culture, especially with regards to kids and how they are packed in public today, how there's an intrusion into their lives and privacy without even asking for it or calling for it, just because they belong to a certain family or legion. She said that, you know, Abram has stopped going out or stepping out. He doesn't want to step out because he knows that he'll be followed by people and photographers. Your kids are a lot older to him, but they are also being packed, like their teenage years. They're being constantly packed, followed, you know, where they're going, what are they doing, who are they meeting. Do you feel that this culture should be stopped till they maybe reach a point where they are an actor, they choose this profession? Or what is your idea or take on this thing?
But you know what, it's each parent to his own. Because when I see Taimur being stalked the way he is, sometimes I find it very disturbing, you know, and I sometimes think, how is he going to handle it later on in life? You know, fortunately, I think for us, the pack culture started when I think Shanaya was probably 13 and 14. Before that, it was not there. It didn't exist. So for me, at least 13 and 14 it's an age where I can have conversation, I can have reasoning, I can discuss, you know. So I always tell Shanaya and Jahaan, the comments you do not take seriously. The good ones, especially, the bad ones, even more.
Yeah.
Do not take it seriously. Take it with a pinch of salt. Again, my point is, as a mother, you can only keep communicating, keep talking. It's a different way of bringing up children. And I mean, there's pros and cons to it. It's a part of it. It's a part of our lives. This is the way it is. These are the cards that have been dealt with, and we have to deal with it. I mean, it's no big deal as long as you keep on talking to your children. Very, very important.
Yeah, I think the kids also, the thing is, the kids are also growing up in this atmosphere, right? So they don't know anything different. So I think, you know what, it's a part of how we operate today. It's a part of what what is life today. So I think, I think it's better that they kind of learn to deal with it. And like Maheep said, they just need to, grow a thick skin when it comes to the negative comments and the negativity and not let it get to them. But other than that, I think it's, we might find it a bit disturbing and odd, but for the children, I find it like they don't know any better. So they are kind of dealing with it pretty good. I mean, this is life for them now.
So I'm saying before I end it, I want to ask you the conversation, Nirvaan, that there is constant chatter about your kids joining the film industry. So do you like it? Because there is always going to be a section which will support them, a section which will always feel that they come from privileged backgrounds and they're getting it. And you've dealt with that conversation also on the show. And I completely agree with what you say.
For me, it doesn't matter. Whatever the kids choose to do, like I say, at the end of the day, it's, your child may choose whatever your child chooses to do, whatever my child chooses to do, as long as they do it 100%, they give it their 100%, I will back them 100%. I will support them 100%.
I just don't get when people are so offended by an actor's son wanting to be an actor.
Yeah.
I mean, they are born in this environment. Their influence, their building blocks, their personalities, their first influences are going to be the family. So they're going to take inspiration from that. So I find it weird when they say, how can they? They should be doctors or they should be army officers. They're not going to be inspired by the neighbor's family now. They're going to be inspired by their own family. And I just feel that what I will have a problem with is if they take it for granted. Okay, oh, listen, just because my parents and my family is in this industry, it's going to be given to me in a diamond-studded platter. No, me and Sanjay have had many, many conversations with our kids again, and we've told them the flip side, the worst side, if you don't do it, how it's going to be, how people are going to talk. It's not as easy as people think it is, And my thing, like Seema said, as long as I feel that my kids, if they want to get into this profession, are giving 1000% and working hard towards this industry and not taking it for granted, I'm okay with it. But at the end of the day, audience is king. We'll have to see. But I have a problem with people going on about this. It doesn't make sense to me. What should they be?
Yeah.
A chef's son always usually follows from their,
But it always doesn't guarantee success as well. Like even in your family, so many people have already gone through so much.
I've addressed it with my own husband in the sense that today he's found this niche on the OT platform, and he's getting massive offers and whatever. You find your way. Everyone has their destiny. Everyone has their path to walk. And, I just think that everyone should take the F down.
Everybody's career has their own journey. Everybody in life has their own journey. You can't, I think what has happened is I think people have become so judgmental. So they want to attack. That first word is attack. What I don't understand, especially after this 2020, I just feel people need to calm down and people need to be kinder. Empathy, have some empathy. Everybody's a human being at the end of the day, wherever you may be.
Thank you, ladies, for this fantastic conversation. You guys were absolutely honest, like I expected you guys to be.
Thank you. Thanks.
This was fun. Thank you.
This was really sweet. Thank you so much.